One of the most influential people in the world today is Oprah Winfrey, a well-known American talk show presenter, media mogul, actress, and philanthropist. The Oprah Winfrey program, which ran for 25 years and became the highest-rated talk program in American television history, marked the beginning of Oprah's ascent to stardom. She was born into poverty and overcame many obstacles. Oprah, well known for her open and sympathetic interviewing approach, established a platform that allowed various individuals to have a voice. Oprah's influence extended beyond social concerns to celebrity interviews. However, Oprah Winfrey has a poor reputation outside of her broadcast job. A few celebrities have come up with startling information that may alter our perception of Oprah as a cheerful, kind lady. Come along as we explore this new knowledge and get to know Oprah Winfrey as a natural person. Birth and early life. On January 29, 1954, Oprah Winfrey was born to Vernita Lee and Vernon Winfrey in the tiny Mississippi town of Kosciuszko. Her mother's troubles as a young single mom and her parents' separation were the first obstacles and tribulations in her early life. Oprah grew up in rural poverty and lived with her grandmother, Hattie Mae, throughout her early years. Her grandmother was instrumental in her education, teaching her to read before age 3. Even with her grandmother's support and affection, Oprah's early years were everything from perfect. Oprah's life turned for the worse when she went to Milwaukee to live with her mother when she was 6 years old. She suffered abuse and neglect during this period, which greatly influenced her eventual resiliency and willpower. Notwithstanding these early setbacks, Oprah's brilliance and charm emerged, paving the way for her subsequent achievements. Starting her career. Oprah Winfrey's tenacity and academic prowess set her apart from her contemporaries despite the difficulties of her early years. She studied communications at Tennessee State University, where she received a scholarship thanks to her remarkable oratory abilities. There she found her calling in broadcasting, laying the groundwork for an innovative career. Oprah made history as Nashville's first African-American female news anchor when she started her career in local news. She immediately distinguished herself in the profession with her innate charm and relatability. Her transition to television talk show. An important turning point in Oprah's career came in 1984 when she switched to talk programs on television. She moved to Chicago to anchor AM Chicago, an unsuccessful morning discussion program that became very popular under her direction. After changing its name to The Oprah Winfrey Show, it became famous for its close interviews, audience participation, and emphasis on critical social concerns. Oprah became a well-known cultural influence because of her capacity to empathize with her audience and caring demeanor. Her ascent from a difficult upbringing to become one of the most significant media personalities is a perfect example of the transformational potential of tenacity and drive. Her other ventures. In addition to her renowned talk show, Oprah Winfrey has developed a diverse profession. Her acting, producing, and publishing endeavors demonstrate her unbound inventiveness and commercial savvy. She founded The Oprah magazine, a reliable source of empowerment and inspiration for millions. She also established the Oprah Winfrey Network, OWN, a television network devoted to inspirational programs, personal development, and storytelling. Critically renowned films and television shows, such as Selma and The Color Purple, have been made possible by Oprah's production firm, Harpo Productions. Beyond her entertainment career, Oprah strongly supports worldwide charity, women's empowerment, and education. She has contributed millions to humanitarian initiatives, such as disaster assistance and the construction of schools in impoverished areas. The Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy shows her dedication to using education to empower future generations of girls in South Africa. Oprah significantly impacts social and cultural discussions about self-improvement, racial fairness, and mental health, cutting across many sectors. Her lasting impact as a humanitarian and cultural icon is motivational and demonstrates the transformational potential of leveraging one's position to effect significant change. Controversial moment between Oprah Winfrey and Mo'Nique. A very personal and contentious occurrence at the root of Oprah Winfrey and Mo'Nique's tense friendship. The Oscar-winning comedian and actress Mo'Nique has publicly chastised Oprah for presenting a talk show segment that included family members including her estranged brother, Gerald Imes. Monique was sensitive to this choice since Gerald had earlier acknowledged that he had abused her as a youngster, an experience that had left her with lifelong wounds. Since there was no previous conversation or approval about such a delicate topic, Monique has said that Oprah's choice to make her family public seemed like a betrayal. Monique claims that the timing was particularly distressing since the show was broadcast soon after her historic Oscar victory for Precious. Monique accused Oprah of taking advantage of her family's tale for ratings and ignoring her sentiments, which further strained their already complicated relationship. Had not informed beforehand. Oprah has not responded much to Monique's public demands for accountability or her private efforts to resolve the matter. Monique has called Oprah's broad apologies at an impersonal encounter dishonest. This dispute, which emphasizes the difficulties of negotiating private and public borders in the entertainment business, continues to be a defining chapter in their dynamic. Monique claims that Oprah did not inform her that her brother and dad would be on the program. Monique was quite upset by the decision, mainly because she had a tense relationship with her family and had objected to such a public disclosure of private information. Instead of showing genuine concern or having a conversation about the abuse, Monique believed Oprah was just interested in using their mother for views and ratings. Her actions brought back emotional trauma and betrayal. According to Monique, if she had been contacted or engaged, she would have ultimately rejected the concept since it highlighted the betrayal and deeply ingrained emotional anguish. She challenged Oprah years later, raising doubts about her choices and motives. According to Monique, Oprah's generic apology, "If I've done anything to offend you, I apologize," was inadequate. This event is often mentioned as a turning point in Monique's career. Her claims of being blackballed in Hollywood and escalating her ties with influential people in the business have been a wild journey. Feud between Oprah Winfrey and David Letterman. Oprah Winfrey and David Letterman's long-standing conflict started with a notorious two-decade dispute. Oprah's 1989 appearance on The Late Show with David Letterman is often cited as the reason for their tense relationship. Over time, the tension increased due to Letterman's tendency to make fun of Oprah. There was one noteworthy instance during the Academy Awards in 1995. Host Letterman introduced Oprah and actress Uma Thurman with a repetitious and derisive "Oprah, Uma" line that did not resonate with the audience but harmed their friendship. The backlash. Oprah's recent controversial TV program on devil worship sparked a lot of criticism, primarily because of the outrageous statements made by some of her guests. This was the beginning of the issue. Oprah was a well-received guest, but her appearance soon changed for the worse. During the program, the crowd aimed their ire at Oprah because they were upset over a previous edition of her talk show that covered contentious subjects like devil worship. Oprah felt uneasy and unsupported because of the tight environment. Oprah was uncomfortable when she appeared on Letterman's program because of the negative responses from the crowd. The tension was increased when one of the audience members even shouted at Letterman to rip her apart at one point. Oprah believed that Letterman failed to stand up for her and allowed things to get out of hand. A rude joke. Later, Letterman recognized the tension, saying that he thought Oprah was upset with him because, in retrospect, he should have risen to the occasion and challenged the hostile audience more aggressively. However, things became much more heated when Letterman made several offensive remarks about Oprah in the following years. One such instance was when he hosted the 1995 Academy Awards and made jokes about Oprah that many people found offensive. Left her with the bill. Oprah reportedly held hatred toward him when he allegedly left her with the bill at a restaurant where they had dined together, according to Letterman, which was the most crucial event of the rupture. In jest, Letterman had requested that the waiter inform Oprah that she was paying the bill. According to reports, Oprah did not think this funny, and their tense relationship began. Giving the cold shoulder. Oprah allegedly avoided Letterman and refused to talk to him when they crossed paths for years. The two didn't start to patch things up until 2005, when Oprah agreed to interview on The Late Show. Although the journey to reconciliation had been lengthy and full of unresolved difficulties, Their reunion was sincere and filled with laughter. A complicated relationship. Even still, friction persisted, mainly when Letterman made some disparaging remarks about Oprah in the press. Oprah's increasing media power as a talk show tycoon continued to be controversial, though there were always rumors of a more profound, unresolved tension under the surface. The conflict gradually subsided, and the two seemed to reconcile publicly. The whole scenario has been extensively examined to illustrate the complex connections between two of the most significant personalities in American television in the 1990s and 2000s. Struggling with her weight condition. For many years, Oprah Winfrey's connection with weight reduction, including her usage of weight loss medication, has been a subject of public discourse, reflecting her continuous battles with weight and body image. Oprah has been a leading voice in the discussion of diets, health, and self-image for decades because she has been candid about her struggle with weight. Her public character has included her struggles and weight reduction journey. Her acknowledgement. When it was disclosed in 2020 that Oprah had been using weight reduction medication, more specifically, Wegovy, an appetite suppressant used for long-term weight management, she caused controversy and attracted media attention. The medication, which contains semaglutide, which helps suppress appetite and promote weight reduction, is an FDA-approved therapy for obesity. Oprah, a longtime supporter of weight control and good living, made news when she openly admitted to using the drug to aid in her weight reduction efforts. Obesity is a medical condition, not a character flaw. The world has taken notice of Oprah Winfrey's recent disclosure that she uses prescription weight loss medicine as part of her wellness and fitness regimen. When Oprah openly discussed the issue in 2024, she said that Ozempic, a medication often used to reduce weight, had helped her lose over 40 pounds. She justified her choice to take such medicine, stating that she wants to fight the stigma associated with treating obesity and that it is a medical illness rather than a personal weakness. Struggles with a body image. Oprah's issues with weight and body image have already been well reported, often eliciting condemnation and criticism. She has responded by using her position to inform the public to lessen the stigma attached to weight reduction techniques. Her original work, Shame, Blame, and the Weight Loss Revolution, examined the many causes of obesity and how medicine may help control it. After years of battling with weight fluctuations and personal issues, Oprah decided to take Ozempic with the goal of long-term weight maintenance. Reaction towards her medication. Oprah's usage of the drug sparked reactions from many of her fans and detractors, some of whom expressed dismay. Despite social pressure to fit into predetermined body types, Oprah has often advocated for body acceptance and empowerment. She was well-liked in the body positivity movement because of her previous efforts, including her well-known weight reduction problems and her well-known 1988 interview in which she showed off how much she had lost by going on stage with a wagon full of fat, contradicting her message of self-acceptance and wellness. Some of Oprah's followers believed using Wegovy went against her earlier teachings on health and self-acceptance. Considering that Oprah has always been open about her struggles with weight and diets, some saw it as a personal decision in her continuous fight with weight reduction. In response, Oprah acknowledged that, like other people who need medicine for various health conditions, she had battled with her weight for most of her life and saw the drug as a tool to assist in managing her health. She also clarified that she was sharing her experience with the medicine rather than endorsing it, highlighting the significance of personal health decisions. Might send a mixed message to the public. However, detractors question the more serious ramifications of such a well-known person endorsing weight reduction drugs, as it may convey conflicting signals to the public about self-esteem, body image, and the pressure to adhere to specific beauty standards. Oprah had previously tackled weight control from a more holistic perspective. Still, others conjectured that her usage of the medicine and her support of different health products over the years signified a turn toward pharmaceutical remedies. In the end, Oprah's choice to use weight loss drugs like Wegovy is a part of the more intricate story of her relationship with health, weight, and self-determination, which keeps changing as she manages her personal and professional life. The Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls. In 2007, Oprah Winfrey established the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls, OWLAG, a residential school in South Africa. The school symbolizes Oprah's dedication to education and empowering young women, especially in Africa, where girls' possibilities are often restricted. Oprah's experiences with education, which she has usually cited as the secret to her success and a way to end the cycle of poverty, inspired the school. Founding and vision. In 2000, Oprah and Nelson Mandela had a chat that gave rise to the concept of OWLAG. Mandela underlined the need to tackle the difficulties South African females faced since many of them were unable to get high-quality education and were caught in poverty cycles. To help these young ladies realize their full potential, Oprah promised to create a school that offers a supportive but demanding academic atmosphere. Oprah contributed $40 million, and construction started in 2002. From choosing the first batch of students to designing the campus, she was heavily engaged in every step. The institution accepts girls based on their academic prowess and financial necessity in Henley-on-Klip, south of Johannesburg. Curriculum and opportunities. OWLAG provides top-notch amenities like fitness centers, scientific laboratories, a library, and dorms. The curriculum strongly emphasizes social responsibility, leadership development, and academic excellence. Sports, the arts, and community service initiatives are among the extracurricular activities available to students. Academics are just one aspect of Oprah's vision for the institution. She wants to develop leaders who will change the globe and their communities. Out of hundreds of applications, the school selects 60 to 70 girls annually, emphasizing those with talent but need more funding. Controversies and challenges. Despite its notable accomplishments, OWLAG has not been without criticism. Claims of mistreatment by a dorm matron occurred in 2007, just after the institution opened. Oprah acted quickly, going to South Africa to handle the matter personally. To get justice, she apologized to the pupils and their families, attended news conferences, and collaborated with local authorities. In addition to highlighting Oprah's active leadership and dedication to student safety, the event highlighted the difficulties of managing a school of this size. Achievements. Since its founding, numerous young women have graduated from OWLAG and gone on to attend prominent colleges worldwide, such as Harvard, Stanford, and Oxford. Numerous graduates have returned to South Africa to work in business, law, medicine, and education. The Academy has emerged as an example of how education can empower females and promote social change. Legacy. The Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls demonstrates Oprah's faith in education's transformational potential. It reflects her commitment to inspiring others and creating opportunities for the next generation of leaders. The school thrives despite obstacles, influencing the lives of young ladies who exemplify Oprah's values of excellence and empowerment. The Maui Wildfire Relief Fund. Following the disastrous wildfires that hit Maui, Hawaii in August 2023, Oprah Winfrey and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson founded the Maui Wildfire Relief Fund. Numerous people were displaced, extensive damage was caused, and hundreds of people lost their lives as a consequence of the flames, especially in the town of Lahaina. The fund sought to help those most impacted financially in recognition of the pressing need for relief. Creation of the fund. Oprah Winfrey and Dwayne Johnson announced the People's Fund of Maui, which will open in early September 2023, with a $10 million inaugural commitment. The fund aimed to guarantee that money would reach wildfire survivors immediately, especially those who suffered significant damage or lost their houses. The fund's goal was to assist impacted persons in reconstructing their lives by giving them $1,200 a month for a long time. The aim was to prioritize citizens' financial independence while attending to their urgent needs. Distribution and impact. Those who could demonstrate that they resided in the affected regions of Kula and Lahaina were eligible to apply to the People's Fund of Maui. Proof of domicile was necessary to guarantee that monies were distributed to people who were displaced or impacted by the tragedy. The strategy for giving out direct financial aid differed from other philanthropic endeavors. The fund emphasized providing people and families with the tools to choose how best to spend the funds for their particular circumstances than it did on material gifts or infrastructure reconstruction. Criticism of wealthy donors. Following the announcement of their $10 million joint gift to the Maui Wildfire Relief Fund, which was meant to assist victims of the disastrous fires that devastated the Hawaiian island in 2023, Oprah Winfrey and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson came under fire from the public. Despite the size of their gift, detractors noted that both celebrities had enormous wealth. Their total net worths are in the billions. Many wondered why they were asking for donations from the public rather than paying for a more significant percentage of the project themselves. The source of this pushback was the belief that such affluent individuals could afford to make more substantial contributions without depending on donations from the general public, many of whom may be experiencing financial difficulties. Despite its charitable intentions, several critics said the action brought attention to the gap between the riches of celebrities and their expectations of the general public. Misunderstanding of the fund's purpose. Winfrey and Johnson defended their strategy despite the criticism, highlighting the value of group efforts and community engagement. They reaffirmed their commitment to ensuring the money was appropriately dispersed and the relief got to those who needed it. The dispute spurred more extensive conversations on the dynamics of public versus private charity and the obligations of the rich in times of crisis. Some people should have realized that the $10 million gave the fund a jump start, thinking it depended entirely on public contributions. The backlash resulted from this miscommunication, especially on social media, where claims of tone deafness spread. Disbursement challenges. Although both Oprah and Johnson collaborated with local authorities and charitable groups to expedite the process, practical hurdles included overseeing the eligibility verification procedure and guaranteeing effective distribution. Oprah's role in Maui. Oprah has a long history with Maui and owns much property there. By personally visiting shelters, delivering goods like mattresses and toiletries, and interacting with survivors, she demonstrated her involvement in the wildfire relief operations. Despite her efforts, her property ownership also attracted criticism, as some locals voiced worries about the island's affluent landowners and their alleged involvement in gentrification. Future goals. The fund highlighted Maui's problems, including cheap housing and environmental vulnerabilities, and emphasized the need for practical, survivor-focused disaster assistance. Many neighbors expressed thanks for the fund's rapid support despite the issues. In late 2023, efforts were being made to increase support and generate money. These addressed fundamental problems, including housing shortages and community resilience, as well as the long-term reconstruction of Maui. Additionally, the fund acted as a possible model for such initiatives in disaster-affected regions around the globe. The complex relationship between Michael Jackson and Oprah Winfrey. Michael Jackson and Oprah Winfrey's complicated relationship included times of cooperation, conflict, and public scrutiny. Their media and musical legacies are entwined with their decades-long contacts. The iconic 1993 interview. Michael Jackson was the subject of a widely reported live interview with Oprah Winfrey at his Neverland Ranch in 1993. With over 90 million people globally, the interview became one of the most viewed television events. There were several reasons why the interview was necessary. First, it was a unique and intimate occasion for the well-known pop musician, who had not often disclosed anything about his personal life to the public. Jackson spoke candidly about the issues surrounding his looks, relationships, and early years. Through this interview, viewers were able to learn Jackson's version of events, including his personal experiences with childhood abuse, his complicated relationship with his father, and speculations about his health and skin condition. Jackson also used the interview as a forum to address the child molestation claims that were circulating at the time and would eventually culminate in a court case. Oprah's sympathetic but direct questioning was significant in humanizing the pop star and giving the public a look into the man behind the music. Jackson's image and media appearances were impacted by this historic interview, which helped mold his public persona amid a tumultuous career. Personal insights. Michael Jackson gave Oprah Winfrey a rare look into his world in 1993 when he spoke candidly about several personal topics. He talked about his tense relationship with his father, Joe Jackson, and how his upbringing was affected by his strict rules and high standards. Michael also spoke about his battles with vitiligo, a skin disorder that results in pigmentation loss and has been the subject of public scrutiny and conjecture. Michael spoke out about the tremendous strain of celebrity and the toll it has taken on his mental and emotional well-being, in addition to discussing his health issues. He spoke about how the continuous media attention made him feel alone and unable to go about his daily life. Taking advantage of the occasion, Michael clarified several long-standing rumors. He addressed the rumors about his changing look head-on, explaining that any cosmetic surgery was a personal choice and that vitiligo had lightened his skin. He also addressed the gossip about his solitary way of living, stressing that it was a natural demand for seclusion rather than a conscious effort to conceal himself from the world. By providing insight into his hardships and the difficulties of living under the constant scrutiny of celebrities, Michael Jackson aimed to humanize himself and dispel myths. Cultural impact. Oprah Winfrey's conversation with Michael Jackson gave fans a never-before-seen glimpse into the music legend's life. It gave fans a closer look at the man behind the music, enabling Michael to divulge personal information about his childhood, battles with celebrity, and health problems. Her courteous and sympathetic attitude showed Oprah's skill as an interviewer in the discussion, which made it one of the most viewed TV shows. But even though the interview went well, Oprah and Michael Jackson's bond soured in the following years. Fans and critics took notice of Oprah's treatment of certain subjects, especially in later broadcasts and conversations on Michael's private life. These incidents caused conflict, mainly when Oprah brought up delicate subjects like Michael's accusations. Although she and Jackson had a good relationship initially, their handling of these contentious issues caused friction. Their relationship gradually deteriorated as Michael, who respected his privacy, believed Oprah had overreached herself by talking about topics he had previously covered. Leaving Neverland. In her post-documentary After Neverland, Oprah interviewed Wade Robson and James Safechuck, two men who claimed that Michael Jackson had sexually abused them. Oprah seemed to support the accusations by taking part in this initiative, which sparked strong criticism from Jackson's family, admirers, and some public members. Oprah was criticized for disparaging Michael's legacy without providing any solid proof. The Jackson family's response. Given Michael's faith in Oprah during their 1993 interview, his family openly chastised her for her role in Leaving Neverland, accusing her of betraying him. They said that Oprah had failed to balance the story by excluding voices who defended Michael or cast doubt on the veracity of the allegations. Janet Jackson's feud with Oprah. Oprah Winfrey's handling of the Jackson family's legacy, especially Michael Jackson's contentious court disputes, was a significant source of Janet Jackson's discontent with the talk show host. According to reports, Janet was offended when Oprah decided to highlight Michael's accusers on her program, particularly at a time when Michael was the target of grave accusations. Rather than being a fair and impartial journalistic approach, Janet saw this choice as an exploitative tactic meant to increase viewers. Janet thought Oprah's handling of the matter was incredibly disrespectful to the family's privacy and Michael's reputation. For Janet, the issue went beyond her brother's legal issues to include Oprah's apparent exploitation of the family's hardships for financial benefit. This further strained her already tense relationship with Oprah. Oprah's portrayal of Michael's legacy, which often touched on delicate subjects that Janet felt Oprah ought to have handled with tact and compassion, added to her sentiments. The two became even more estranged due to this friction, which added to the long-standing animosity between Janet and Oprah that many people think hasn't been healed. Public reaction and legacy. Oprah's participation in Leaving Neverland caused a rift in public opinion. She received praise from some for empowering abuse survivors and promoting challenging dialogues. Others charged her for violating Michael's memory and exaggerating unsubstantiated claims for her or her career's benefit. Oprah defended her actions despite the backlash, saying that the purpose of the program and the interviews that followed was to start meaningful discussions about responsibility and abuse. An act of betrayal of trust. Oprah Winfrey and Michael Jackson's connection is still intriguing and much contested. What started as a groundbreaking partnership in 1993 turned into a tense situation that revealed the difficulties of balancing public opinion, personal loyalty, and journalistic ethics. Some of Michael's family and followers see Oprah's subsequent activities as a violation of trust. In contrast, others see her as a media personality who isn't scared to touch on delicate matters. The color purple. The dispute between Taraji P. Henson and Oprah Winfrey concerns racial injustice in Hollywood, employment equality, and Taraji's dissatisfaction with structural difficulties in the entertainment sector. Nonetheless, there isn't any notable public dispute or feud between the two ladies. The discussion instead centers on Taraji P. Henson's criticisms of Hollywood and her personal experiences with injustices, which some people may obliquely link to influential people like Oprah because of her prominence in the media and Hollywood. Taraji P. Henson's criticism of Hollywood. As a Black woman in the entertainment business, Taraji has often voiced her struggles, especially about problems like uneven treatment, low income, and unfavorable working conditions. Even though she received critical praise for her performances in Empire and The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, Taraji has openly spoken about the pay disparities she faced in her career compared to her white rivals. In interviews, Taraji emphasized that despite receiving an Oscar nomination and Emmy nominations, she often had to battle for what ought to be standard contractual arrangements, such as equitable compensation and on-set amenities. Oprah is one of the most well-known gatekeepers in the business, and her grievances could reflect the more significant difficulties Black performers experience. Possible points of intersection. Although there isn't a direct fight between Taraji P. Henson and Oprah Winfrey, some have hypothesized that Taraji's candid criticisms might subtly challenge influential individuals like Oprah, who aren't often perceived as prominent supporters of grassroots change in Hollywood.
If you've watched the video till here, that means you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notifications bell icon